yeah, 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 oh, yeah, mm, yeah, born and dead, saved by love, count my blessing from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision, it's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know, yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe. Sun will shine again, and love, I can hardly wait. In the light of the sun, we'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace. There'll be peace, happiness and joy forever. Oh, one day, someday, pain will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But in the end, love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Said it in His word. We've been made. Endure the night. Love will conquer all. Love will win the fight. So don't be discouraged. Don't be dismayed. The darkest hour just before the light. Hate will be crushed, fear will be gone, love will remain and go on and on. Though the road seems rough, my friend, we know how the journey ends. Oh, yeah. La, da, da, da. La, da, da. La, da, da. Oh, oh. La, da, da, da.
What you wear says something about you, about who you are, what you believe, and what you stand for. So here in the Love and Stuff community, we wear the brand that we live, and we live the brand that we wear because we love the brand. It's all about increasing the amount of love in the world and upping our love game. And if that's what you're about, you should wear it too. And good evening. If you are watching us live on the Marcus R. Holmes page or on the Love and Stuff community page, on Twitch TV, Twitter, YouTube events, or LinkedIn Live, you will see that it is entitled Black History, Black Music. And today we are taking a detour from the Black History celebration slightly. So I apologize if you have seen that as the running scroll on any of the events. I hope that in the Love and Stuff community and in the diaspora around HR Passion LLC and all of the love shows that we have tried to bring you consistent content week after week, sun, rain, sleet, or snow. I kind of adopted that mantra from the years of watching Oprah and Winfrey, who boasted of never taking a day off. But what I am learning for me personally, and I don't cast any aspersions on that, for me personally, there are times that you need to take a break. And for your self-care, you should be putting yourself first. And so because I have been so intentional on the gratefulness journey every day and on a mindfulness journey and self-care journey, it would not speak well to that journey if I don't put to practice some of the things myself, especially self-care, because as you may know, we've got a self-care ebook. And oh, shameless plug, I think I will throw that up. We got a self-care ebook that you can get today. It's a self-care ebook. And it's important if you can scan it right there and get the self-care ebook. It's 12 months of self-care. Each month there's a different focus. This month of February, as we're coming to a close of it, it's all about eating right. Not living to eat, but eating to live. Eating foods that nourish your body. And so self-care is important. And because I know how important it is, I want to make sure that I am embodying how important it is to take care of yourself. And so this past week has brought, for me personally, some pretty tough blows as it relates to information. Now, those of you that have followed my journey at all, you know that I'm no stranger to grief, unfortunately. And that's not a badge that I hope to wear as a badge of honor. But I'm no stranger to grief. I have said goodbye to many loved ones near and dear, to one of my best friends in the world, who I think was only 37 or 38 when he passed away, to two siblings who passed in their early 40s, another sibling who passed in her late 40s, both of my parents, and several other close friends. And so I'm no stranger to grief. But this week, right in the Love and Stuff community, one of the leaders of one of the love shows, Darren Williams, dear beloved sister, Kanata Hope Williams, made her transition. And for me, it was a sudden transition because she had really turned a corner, I thought, in her health challenges. And I actually knew Kanata and Ken before I knew Darren. And so it knocked the wind out of me for a few moments, I must admit. And I couldn't wrap my head around how this beautiful young soul, funny as all get out, was whisked away. And so I felt some kind of way about that and tried to continue to push forward and do the things, forgive me, that I thought I needed to do. Prior to that, a life longer than my life, because she knew me before I knew me, Joanne Atkinson made her transition, and I was totally not expecting that transition. And some of the members in and around the Love and Stuff community, Izora Baldwin, Tanya Taylor. Those are on the periphery or in the Love and Stuff community, supporters of the things that we do here in the Love and Stuff community. Their sister and mom, respectively. Joanne Atkinson made her transition. And so it has been a week of transition. And sometimes when you are in a week of transition or a moment of transition, you should stop and take a breath. And to the extent you can, catch your breath and realize that the high cost of love is loss. That with every love you experience is the possibility, and in some regards, almost eventuality, that there will be loss. That high price cost, that high exchange cost of loving is that you may have to let go. And so you should take a moment to reconcile that. And it takes more than just a moment, literally, but you should take a moment to begin that reconciliation process. And so we will bring the Black History, Black music back to you because it's important to me that we take a look at the impact that Black music has had on the Black experience and hopefully shed some light to you and maybe even shed some sources of inspiration for you that if you are of the beautiful melanin hue, that embedded in your DNA is rhythm and music. It has been both pulse and pain. It has been both uplifting and carrying for our people. And I want to shed light on that. So we will bring that back next week, along with our closing on Black History Month with Valerie Colbert Osunwadi and the entire cast from the For the Love of Justice team that's within our Love and Stuff community. You will hear from them as we take a look back at some of the important documents and pieces in our history and look to move forward. So I wanted to share that, and I want to encourage you to consider your self-care as something important that you're going to do and take care of now. And the Live It to Love. Those of you that celebrate the Lenten season at all, or you are looking to revisit how you eat to live and live to eat, I want you to consider getting the Live It to Love ebook. Listen, I did not start this as an ebook. Live It to Love was much like Love and Stuff, advice that I have synthesized from experts in my estimation. This probably is a higher level of expert because I synthesized this information about meal plan from a doctor who was my mother's personal care physician many, many years ago. He ended up relocating out of the country to another continent, actually. And so this Live It to Love is synthesized from information that I gleaned from him that he gave me as I was caregiving and going into caregiving of the things that I should include in my mother's diet. I synthesized that information. I wrote it down and I shared it with someone in the Love and Stuff community, a number of people actually now. And she talked with her doctor about it and he said, this is great. And so it is a vegetable diet largely, but you get your choice of fish or chicken during this time of the diet or this time of the meal plan. It's for 31 days. And then after that, you begin to put back in the other things that you like in moderation. And it worked so well for her. It helped her on her journey of weight loss. It helped her in regulating her blood glucose. It helped her to get more mobile. And if any of those things, building your immune system, if any of those things are important to you, you should consider getting this Live It to Love ebook. I say that anything worth doing is not going to be the easiest thing starting, but once you get started, you'll find that it's easy to do. If you're not a person that eats a lot of vegetables, it's going to take a little bit for you to think about how you might eat vegetables, but there are a number of ways to eat vegetables. And many of them you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snack for those of you that like snacks. And this will allow you to do that and also allow you to build a discipline over 31 days. I'm big on habits forming in 30 to 45 days. So this is a 31-day plan, and you can keep going. So if you're in the Lenten season and you're saying, I'm giving something up for Lenten, if you're a person that practices Lent, this is ideal for you because you can give up red meat, let's say, if that's the thing. You can give up alcohol if that's the thing. You can give up sugars if that's the thing, because all of those are things you have to give up in this plan. And you can go 31 days and watch the difference, watch the results that you're going to achieve. So I wanted to make sure that I gave everybody the opportunity to experience exactly what Tasha has experienced, which I think, is phenomenal. And today I thought in sharing that I would have the opportunity to also share with you from one of our ebooks. And I see we have folks across platforms. I'm so excited that folks on YouTube are coming, and folks on Twitch TV. And if you can drop your name in the comments, folks on Facebook, Vanita Smith, I see others. It's always helpful to have you do that. I'm going to continue just to share a few things while some of the things going on behind the scenes can keep going. I want to make sure that you are aware of our Love is Front and Center hoodies that are available in our Shopify store. The QR code is there. And what I think is cool about the QR code, you can click right there and it'll take you right to making your purchase. And I'm excited about that. 35% of the net proceeds go toward helping people who need our help and assistance. And so I appreciate that so much. I want to know it comes in all types of colors. And I wanted to just give you a little bit before we go to, I think I'm going to have to share screen for the video. I don't see it populating yet. How we got to my love is front and center is because I'm always running into people who are telling me they're looking for love. And that's why tonight's show, I think, is important. And a lot of times when people tell me that they're looking for love, I ask them, are you really? And so they think I'm not there, that I'm not taking them seriously. But I want people to take themselves more seriously, because oftentimes we're saying we're ready for love, but we're not open to the love we say we're ready for. We're ready for, if we're willing to be honest, a love that the quintessential love, I'm going to say God, and there are people that may not profess God, and I understand that. We're waiting for God to package love just as we expect it, just when we expect it, and just how we expect it. So if we are expecting God to bring, ladies, a 6'4", or gentlemen, help yourself, a 6'4", chocolate brown, bald, goatee hanging down to your chest hair, muscle bound. I'm making up a description. And that's what you want when someone who is 5'8" and 189, got a little girt to him, right? And he is fair skinned with wavy hair and hazel brown eyes like mine. Mine are more amber, but he's like that. You look past him because you say, he couldn't possibly be what God has for me, right? Fellas, if you want curvy and swervy and wiggle and jiggle, and you get somebody that's petite and thin and holding it in, and they don't mirror what you are looking for, you're going to look right past that fine sister, right? If what we're looking for doesn't show up as we expect it to, I submit to you that we're not ready for love. We're ready for a like that matches our desire. And I don't begrudge you for that. You have the right to desire what you desire. But there is the possibility that the love that is ready for you doesn't look like anything that you've ever experienced. And so you have to be open to love. That's why we say your love has to be front and center. If you're saying, I got these deal breakers and these are deal breakers, and you should have some around violence and substance abuse and whatever your list is. But if you have so many deal breakers that there are no covenant makers among those deal breakers, you may not be ready and open to love. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have standards. But if you're saying, well, if he drives this kind of car, or if he does this kind of work, or she doesn't do this, when your love is front and center, you're really saying, God, I'm awakened to what you're doing in the earth. And whatever you're doing about love, hey, don't do it without me. I'm open to you bringing the love that will suit my current self and my future growth. And Lord, I'm open to however you bring it, whenever you bring it. That is having your love front and center. It's going into the world every day and saying, this may be the day that I am awakened to the connection that brings love to me and brings me to it. Your love front and center is when you say, I'm taking the limits off of what I think love can be and opening to the divine love, to God, and saying, Jesus, bring the love that you would have for me. And so we want you to get that in any color that you want. That's the hoodie. And you can get two if you already got a snuggle buddy. You all can snuggle, Netflix, and chill in your hoodies, turn the temperature down a little, and maybe the temperature will rise a little. And you can enjoy your love is front and center. It also comes in a sweatshirt. Again, it comes in multiple colors. The black is my favorite because the red is the actual logo. And so to me, those just complement each other in such a wonderful way. It just feels so warm and comfortable. And I invite you to make a purchase while it is on sale, this sweatshirt for only $21.15. What a deal that is. You can have it shipped directly to your door. And I love this specific mantra, if you will. Our love is front and center. My love is front and center because it says something, you know, we believe here in the Love and Stuff community that you should live the brand you wear. You should wear the brand you live, and you should love that brand. And thinking about my love is front and center, I don't think you can really say that and wear it if you don't mean it. It won't go over as well, at least I think. But if you really live it and mean it, then people see that your spirit, your essence matches what you wear. And that even draws those and drives those that should be drawn and driven. So I want to encourage you to get that my love is front and center while you can for $21.15. I mean, you can't beat that deal. Okay, I see that our video is still rendering. So I am going to share my screen. We'll come right back after this. And I hope you will click share, tag 5 of your closest friends, 5 of the more popular ones to join us, whether you're watching us from the Love and Stuff community page, which some of you are, Marcus Our Homes page, YouTube, Twitch TV. I even see a few folks on LinkedIn Live tonight. Tonight, we are taking a little detour from the Black music, and we're going to talk about connecting with relationships, right? There's some replay content in this, but I think this will be helpful to you if you are an introvert, if you are looking for new relationships, if you're looking to strengthen relationships, if you're looking to learn new things about yourself and other people. These questions that we share in this video, I think are going to be spot on for you. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you click share and tag someone to join us. We will be right back shortly. Trying to give it a second to render the video. The video rendering has not happened, but I wanted to play a little clip from our partners right here at Powerful Money Tools, LLC with Christina Smith.
Welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. At Powerful Money Tools, we are here to prepare for your future. We want to talk about financial freedom. Financial freedom is budgeting, credit building, and also financial education. So once again, welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. We can't wait to help you in your financial future.
Yes, that was Christina. And thank you, our money coach, for all that you do for the Love and Stuff community. I want to pause again and say that we're making a slight detour from our scheduling today because we have had some of the sad news. Of course, the tragic and senseless killing of those young people at Michigan State University. Our prayers, especially for all of those families, but because on the degrees of separation, we know of the Anderson family, certainly praying for that family and the loss of Ariel, that beautiful young lady. And then this week, we had two angels in and around the Love and Stuff community, Joanne Atkinson and Kanata Hope Williams. Joanne Atkinson is the sister of Izora Baldwin, who's in our community and an avid supporter, and the mother of Tanya Taylor, who has also been an avid supporter of our community. And Kanata Hope Williams is the dear sister of the lead on Love and the Scriptures with Darren Williams. Darren's sister made her transition yesterday, and my heart goes out to both of them. I've known Joanne all my life, or she's known me all mine. And I've known Kanata since we were teenagers. I actually knew her before knowing Darren. And so I am just, those took me aback. And when life takes you aback, sometimes you just have to take a moment, take a break, say a prayer, be grateful for the love that you experienced through those people. And you will always be reminded, is my estimation, that the high cost of love is grief. It is the loss of that or who you had love and affection for. You know that you have really loved when you lost. Unfortunately, I believe, and maybe it's because my journey has been filled with varying types of loss. So our prayers go out to them especially. Our hearts are saddened by those losses, and we continue to pray for those families. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share in part the video and you might want to get your notepads out. There is also a question link that we will share that you can get a copy of these questions if you want to have questions to break ice. If you're introverted, if you have trouble meeting people, trouble making connection, trouble making relationship, this is information that you definitely want to have. All right, we're having slight technical difficulties, but we're gonna work through it. I think it's gonna happen for us. We are going to make it through this. All right, fantastic. The evening, 8:30 p.m. All right, we're gonna share our screen. Okay, it's giving us some challenge getting to that. All right. All right, we're having a slight difficulty and challenge. We're going to work through it. Okay. We will be right back.
Hi, my name is June Rochelle, and I own Detroit Couture. We are a fashion-forward women's boutique, and we offer friendly sizes from small all the way up to 3X women's sizes, very generously fit, very great quality. I actually have on one of our pieces today. It's called the Cuffed Up. It's in gray, burgundy, and black and olive. And it actually has a lot of stretch and give. So listen, in this time, we try to make sure that, first of all, it's quality and customer service that we offer our clients. And I'm so glad to have this opportunity to share with you. So go and visit us at DetroitCouture.com.
June Rochelle Eaton is one of our favorites, along with Christina, one of our favorites who always supports the Love and Stuff community. And we want you, especially ladies, but fellas that buy for your wives and girlfriends and sweeties and all of that, you want to go to DetroitCouture.com. June keeps fresh, wonderful pieces that you can enjoy without wondering, is this going to be something that's going to last, good quality, something that's going to be a head turner? June has exactly what you need. And if you need accessories or gowns or dresses for weddings and special occasions, June is the person to go to at DetroitCouture.com. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to try to share a screen again. I think we'll be able to share the video this way. I think we'll be able to do it this way, and that is what we will do. Joining through the Marcus R. Homes page here on Facebook or on Twitch TV and YouTube events, which has a lot of our overseas folks. Wherever you're joining from, I hope that you will click share and tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, followers, or connections, 5 of your more popular ones to join in tonight's show. I think we have some wonderful information that you can use in this year, regardless to where you're starting off in this year. If you're feeling like you want new relationships, new friendships, you want to meet new people, but you're introverted, and we'll talk about that in a moment, I think we've got some questions that you can have and that you can have on your phone if you want to be able to spark conversations. Give me some likes or loves if you're open this year to new connections, new relationships, new conversation, new companionship. You can, or to rekindle, to re-strengthen, to restore, to reconnect to some other relationship, and you just don't have the words to say, or you just don't want to put yourself out there. Well, these are some tips and some questions that you may ask. And now, if you've been in the Love and Stuff community for any length of time, you know that we have been on a journey about 36 questions that lead to love. And tonight I'm going to share with you 35 questions that you can use that will move you from stranger to friendship. So sometimes the best route to go is to begin a friendship. And thank you, Earl Dawkins. Thank you, Tyrone Pickens. Thank you, those that are joining on the Love and Stuff page. Click share and tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, 5 of your more popular Facebook friends. Jeremy Haynes from Texas is joining us. Happy New Year to all of you. Click share and tag 5 of your connections right now. On these 35 questions, if you are I'm going to talk about in one second, introvert, as I understand introverted, and we're going to use it as a common term, and extrovert, omnivert, ambivert. Which one are you? And whether or not you feel that that gets in the way of you meeting people. Well, we're going to share some questions, and you'll be able to get those questions to put on your phone as a download. Happy New Year to you, Jeremy C. Haynes. Many, many, many more. The blessings of this year be upon you and your family. And these questions you can put on your phone as a file. Now tell me if you have a smartphone and you got a PDF that you can put on there, or you have a smartphone and you have a notes function. Give me a like or love. Drop a like or love in the comments. If you have a notes function on your phone, then this is for you. You can download this and you can whip it out and ask questions. You know me, I'm the love activist. I am not Cupid. I am not a licensed psychologist. I just know what I know. And I know that so far in my short 51 years, I have been 15 for 15 when I've been intentionally connecting people. But I'm not in the business of intentionally connecting people. I just love to connect people to things and people that they're passionate about. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to connect somebody. I meet someone and they say, I need this. And I know someone else who has that. I like to connect people. That gets my endorphins, my adrenaline going. I just love to do that. And so in this Love and Stuff community, I realized that people are looking, some are looking for love, and some are looking for friendship. Some are looking for companionship. Some people just want someone that they can talk to. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a brother here in Michigan who says it's just so hard to build friendships with people that are real, that you can just talk to, just fall asleep on the phone with. Some people still believe in that. I don't know if that's you, give me a like or love. Just someone that you can connect to. And I have a new coaching out that talks about networking, and you should go out and get that coaching if you want to, if you're looking for a job or you want to go to the next level in your life. It's a great coaching. I just had to segue that because it talks about conversations, connections, and convictions. But a lot of people feel antsy about making connections, new connections with people, right? They feel like they don't want to put themselves out there, right? But they want to meet new people. So you kind of have to make a decision about what you're going to do. And these are questions that you might use. I have often said, long time said, and Ingrid Poole, I hope she comes in here, excuse me, Ingrid Poole Curtis. She's married since she's been in Love and Stuff. I did not introduce her to her husband, so I can't say I'm 16 for 16. But I did give her some tips that she did put into play, and she did meet and marry her husband after that. And so I'm going to have them on. They've agreed to come on and talk. I'm going to have them on, and the Clevelands and the Williams to come back and talk about their relationships. But she put some of the tips that I gave her into play, and they work for her. So no, I'm not going to take all of the credit because Ingrid's a beautiful person, smart, gifted, talented. So I'm sure she wooed him with that and cooking and who knows what else. I'm not going to get into their business of how she wooed that man. I did not give her tips on how to do that. But I've been giving one tip among many, and it is to be open to the regular places that you're in every day to where love is. And if you've listened to me for any period of time, you know I tell you, go, where do I say go to? Sonia Clark has joined us. Tamuk Scruggs, Love and Stuff Staples joined us. Happy New Year. Monique Lamar Sylvia, thank you so much for joining. I hope you all will click share and tag some folks to join us. I am always telling people this, and people just discount it, but that's okay. You keep discounting. I tell people, where do you go every day? Where are the places that you go regularly? Because there are people there that you're supposed to meet. You're supposed to be awakened to the portals and pathways of love. I believe that. And not every love is the love connection. Some love is the love connector to a love connection. So you can build a friendship with somebody, and it can be a connector to their brother or sister or uncle or aunt. So that's why I tell people, be open. Happy New Year, Sonia Clark. Thank you so much. I hope you will click share. Be open. And I often tell people, when you go in the store, the corner store, and you have no attraction to the guy at the counter or the woman at the counter, just not your thing. And you don't even make eye contact. You do transaction and you move. Instead of being open to engage them and let them see you, because they might have a brother or sister, cousin, uncle, niece, who they say, hey, this person comes in all the time, I think you should meet. But if you're not open to it, if you're closed to it, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to get connected. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is be open. If you want to be connected, you have to be open. Okay. I should have these points on the screen, but I'm sorry. Be open. Okay. That's the first thing. Second thing I tell people is, in the places that you regularly go every day or every week, there are people that you are supposed to meet. Okay. And there are connections that you're supposed to make. One, for instance, that I tell people all the time that I think everybody goes to is the grocery store. And if you don't go to a grocery store, I'm thinking you're not eating fruits and vegetables. And I'm going to have Tamuk and other folks to come talk to you about healthy living when we get into our self-care. We got a special treat that Tamuk has planned for you to help people who are trying to get physically fit. So you want to join inside of Love and Stuff to get that content, because we're going on a self-care journey starting this month, and this month starts with sleep. But we'll talk about that. The grocery store, I think we all go. The market. Drop in the comments which market and grocery store you go to, wherever you are, across the country or around the world. If you're on YouTube, drop it there too. Twitch TV. I go to Whole Foods. Some people call me Bougetto, bourgeoisie, bougie. God bless you. I used to go to a place called Super Fair, but it's closed. I go to Mike's Fresh, which is some place in the neighborhood, a little pricey for me. Somebody says Kroger's. Somebody says Publix and Walmart. I've never gone to Publix, but I heard that I don't think they're even in our area, Dia, Shelton, and welcome. I've never gone to it, but I've heard good things about it. I go to Kroger sometime. I got a Kroger's card and it's connected to the Shell gas, so that works out good. Carmen Evans, happy birthday, Carmen Evans. Happy birthday. One of our loving stuff, day ones. We're so happy for you. Happy birthday. Your picture looks so beautiful. We're going to be talking about her in 1 second. Walmart. You know, Monique, I've never gone Walmart for grocery shopping, but I should try it. I go, my store of choice, besides Whole Foods, when I'm being hoity-toity, right? When I'm being organic, is Myers. There's a Myers that is close to my home, and that's where I go for most of my food. And their prices are pretty comparable to Kroger from my estimation of the things I buy. And what I tell people all of the time, and you know, if you've been watching Lemon Stuff over these 4 years, you know I'm telling you this because I've been saying it. Go to the supermarket. Fresh Time. Thank you for that, Tyrone Pickens. Go to the supermarket. Fellas, go after you get your hair cut. Ladies, go after you get your hair done or tied down. Okay? Wear your stretch pants, ladies. The ones that, not the ones that show everything, but the ones that are in order. Or if it's in the summer, you can wear a sundress. We'll talk about that another time. Fellas, wear your nice regular sweatpants season. I'm telling you what I'm telling you. Go down the aisle. Go up the next aisle. Go up and down every aisle, even if you don't have anything that you want to buy in that aisle. Even if it's your temptation aisle. Anybody got a temptation aisle in the store where you know you're not supposed to be eating no processed foods and you go down there anyway? Go down that aisle. And sisters, when you see a brother that is attractive to you, brothers, when you see a sister that is attractive to you, or when you see somebody that's attractive to you, it's going to be all inclusive. Go to where they are and pick up an item and ask his or her opinion on the item. You know, my favorite thing is to say, when you're on the produce aisle and you pick up a melon and you say, does this melon seem ripe to you? You ask that question and you start that question. One of the things I believe in networking is when you enter a space, be it a store, a networking event, a conference, don't stand at the door waiting to meet people. That brings you more anxiety about who is inside. Go in through the space as if you belong, because it will build your self-confidence. Don't wait at the door. Go and explore. Okay? So in the store, go up and down the aisles. And that guy, that woman, start a conversation that is something natural. And when you're in the grocery store, use food. Use that as the conversation. It starts a conversation and breaks the ice every time. Now, I don't want you to get something suggestive as you hear Tamuka saying, and all the yams are there. I don't want you to pick up a yam, fellas, and say, ladies, I don't want you to use yams. I don't want you to use anything that's suggestive, right? But I do want you to be your witty, regular self. You know how people say fake it till you make it? Not in this instance. I don't even know if that's good in any instance, but in this instance, you don't want to fake it. You want to be it, whomever you are. And you build your confidence by going and exploring as if you belong. As if you belong. So I love it. And Joy Pascal is here. You should follow her also. She has a wonderful ministry. Carmen says something that's great. You just forayed into what I wanted to say. I'm not good with the stuff Carmen says, but I need for him to be direct. I'm not good with catching clues. They always go over my head. No, they don't. I believe that your limbic resonance, your system, your cells feels stuff before you act upon it. You have just programmed yourself to ignore it. And maybe it might be, I'm thinking of you and Tyrone, it might be the law enforcement, security aspect of you. When you go into an area, be open means that you look for the most positive thing in people and you don't search out the negative. See, when you go in and you're looking only for positive, the negative becomes glaring to you. If you only go for negative, you're going to find it, and often without context, because you'll be judging, right? But when you're meeting new people, you have to be open and being positive, okay? You have to be open and being positive. So here's what I want to tell you folks that are like Carmen. Beautiful person, right? Has a birthday today, doesn't look her age, all those great things, smart, educated, all of that, right? Find out what kind of person you are. What I mean by this, a part of your personality is either predominantly extroverted, introverted, ambiverted, or omniverted. Tonight, I'm really highlighting those that are introverted. And the way I describe an introvert is a person who is refueled and recharged most comfortable by themselves. They're most comfortable when others reach out to them instead of them doing the reaching out. They're most comfortable with small conversations, having a lot of autonomy. That's where they feel most comfortable and are recharged and refueled most when their time is away from people. That does not mean that they don't want to be connected to people, but they're most recharged and fueled by being away, being alone. That's one extreme, introverted. On the opposite end is extroverted. Those are the people who are refueled and recharged and most comfortable being connected to people for periods of time. They like to be in teams, in crowds, interpersonal, social butterflies, social interaction. Okay? In the middle is ambivert, when you are both. You both like to be with people, but you also get recharged from being away from people. And then omnivert is when you are situationally charged and recharged based on interactions or lack thereof with people. So I'm going to describe it in that way. And in one regard, an introvert is uniquely positioned to crush the game, I will say, when it comes to social interactions. And here's one of the reasons why. An introverted person normally is a person who is very observant and who watches. And one of the biggest, most powerful things in personal and professional excellence is your ability to be socially aware of the behaviors of the people around you, aware of their emotions, how they show up, and to be able to navigate those emotions while keeping your own emotions intact. So an extroverted person who spends more time listening than talking can watch for social cues, which I think are very important when we talk about these 35 questions that take you from being kind of a stranger to friendship or platonic to getting to know somebody. And these are questions you can start up even in the grocery store. Now, you probably can't get these out at the light. You have to invite them for coffee, right? Socially distanced coffee. And I want to say to all of the people that are contending with and have contended with this COVID-19 and the most recent variant or any of them, we are certainly praying for your healing. I'm introverted unless I know you very well. Yeah, I would tend to agree. Come on and help me, Dia says. The biggest introvert, and I observe everyone. Yes. So here's what you got to do in that observation. You have to observe, Dia. When you're observing, you have to synthesize the information to decide, am I willing to step forward to take the risk of learning to be open and positive about the interaction? Because what people will migrate to, Dia, is they will see that you are open to that interaction and they will open. So even if you're introverted, you can start to ask some of these questions while you're synthesizing the information so that you feel comfortable as you navigate forward. Okay. And I'm going to make sure before the night is over to drop a link so that you can get these 35 questions. But we're going to talk a little bit more about them this weekend in our first Inside 11 Stuff this weekend as we start to get to know each other better in the 11 Stuff community. We've got almost 4,000 people, but I created an Inside 11 Stuff group for the people who say, hey, I want to get to know Valencia. I want to get to know Tabitha. I want to get to know Carmen. I want to get to know Jeremy. So I wanted to create an Inside 11 Stuff. So if you haven't joined, you have to go to the 11 Stuff community page under groups and then click on Inside 11 Stuff. It's going to ask you to answer a few questions to make sure you're willing to abide by our group rules, and then you'll be a part of it. But if you want to have these 35 questions, I will certainly be sharing them through a link so that you can have them. All right. Thank you, Princeton. He's one of the best assistants in the world. I'm going to have some help. Okay. So one of the things that I want you to do when you are going to the grocery store or wherever you're going is I want you to set an intention. What I mean by that, I think you probably heard that before. I want you to go in to say, I'm going to the grocery store for my regular shopping and I'm going to save money, right? I'm going to get an avocado and catch them on sale, but I'm going to set an intention that I'm going to meet at least one person in the grocery store. Now, if I say I'm going to meet one person without regard to there being some kind of chemistry or sexual or attraction, right? I'm going to meet one person. I'm going to practice as an introvert going into the grocery store. I'm setting an intention. My intention is to meet one person. If it's the cashier, if it's the stock guy, if it's somebody that's roaming the aisles, I'm going to meet one person. Yes, I will certainly drop I'll drop the link, but if you can, the quickest way to make sure you get it is to join Inside 11 Stuff. I should have said it that way, Jeremy, but I will make sure that you have a link in the comments before the night is up. I promise. Okay. Set an intention. Okay. Set an intention. Ladies, words are powerful. Okay. So when you are talking to a guy, I want to think of words that are positive, uplifting, and complimentary. I don't want you to talk about the prices in the store so high. I want you to find a way, you know, if you're really savvy, you got that piece of fruit and you say, this smells so good, or is that your cologne? Now, some people aren't going to be able to be that forward, but it's a great pickup line. Same for that guy. Oh, this smells so sweet, or is that you? Find ways to be complimentary because words are powerful. And when you use words that are descriptive, they create mental imagery for the other person and they become complimentary. You want them to start to see you as positive because that's what you're saying. So no complaints in the initial meeting. These lines so long. No, sister, the lines are not so long. They ain't got enough registers open. Shoot, I was here last week. These were 2 for 99 cents. Now they 2 for $1.19. No. Words are powerful and they set the course of conversations. Use powerfully descriptive words, especially if it's somebody that you're first meeting that you like, and use words that are complimentary. First, set the intention and then use powerful words. The next thing I want you to know, don't fake it until you make it. Don't say you're the CEO of the company and you're the janitor. Both are valued positions. Don't say you make 6 figures and you're trying to figure out how you pay next week's bills. Don't fake it till you make it. Be the best of yourself. Okay? And as I said earlier, move away from the door. Even if you're going into a fitness center, don't get the first treadmill by the door so you can see who's coming in. No. Make it seem that you're comfortable being in a new space, because when you are comfortable, people are comfortable approaching you. If you are uncomfortable, you send off energy that you are uncomfortable, and people are not comfortable approaching you. So if you're going in a fitness center for the first time, it might be like, oh my God, oh Lord, they got on Spanx. Oh my goodness, I don't look that good. Go in like you have been a VIP member, and go in the center of that bad boy and get the socially distanced, get the cardio, get the, you know what I'm saying? I can't, the word isn't coming to me because I ain't been in the gym. Get the machine that's in the center, and get on that machine and look around, but act as if you belong, because you do. Don't fake it till you make it. You are valuable. You are beautiful. You are handsome. You are smart. You is kind, right? Remember this. Meet people, new people, in motion, not standing still, because you want to see them moving and behaving. It's easy to deflect and deceive when you are standing still, but watch people's mannerisms. Watch how they move. Meet people who are moving, not standing still. So when you're going down that aisle, wait till he squeeze that bread and go past and say, I know you squeezed that bread. Was that a good squeeze? Now, ladies, you might not feel that comfortable saying that, but brothers, you might say that to a lady, or a lady, you might say that to a brother. Exercise bike. Thank you, treadmill. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, treadmill. Help me out. And so I want to go into these questions, some of them, but I want to tell you a few things that you should know going into these questions, okay? Because some things people are telling you, that's right, Mike Reed, you are valued, smart, and fine, all that. Yep, you are. Pass that on. Click share and tell somebody else that. I would say in those first conversations, you keep it kind of simple. And these questions are kind of simple. And you wait for later to do foundational type of questions, politics and religion. Don't necessarily open with those questions. But in these first set of questions, which are really basic, what you're doing is you're asking these questions, but to Dia, I think it was Dia, if I'm not mistaken, Dia Shelton. Yeah, this is for you, Dia. You're introverted, right? You're good at listening and watching, right? So now you got to get up your nerve to ask a few questions, right? So you've gotten down the aisle with that brother. He's shaped like you want him, tall, almond, chocolate, or vanilla, whatever your flavor is, right? He looks like you want him to look. And you give him eye contact and smile, right? And you got positive words already ready. What you want to do in these first set of questions, Dia, is you want to get a baseline for how he responds to questions. And what I mean by a baseline is, how does he act when he's normally responding? What you're looking for is his consistency in the response. It's called congruence. Is he a gesturer? Is his face matching his hands? You want to get a baseline for that. And you get a baseline, and then you want to get what's called a nervous baseline. So when you ask someone a question and they touch their head or they drop their head like this, that's kind of a sign of shame or embarrassment, a question they may not want to answer. You mark that baseline too, because those are different baselines. It's important to know how people are when they're normal, how they are when they're nervous, and how they are when they're lying. And so you need to know the first two in these first set of questions so you can start to detect some of the other tips that I'm going to tell you about when you think that they might not be telling you the truth, all right? And again, if you go into a conversation being open and positive, you're not looking necessarily for the red flags, but when you're being positive and surround everything with positive language, the red flags will be more glaring to you. They will stand out more when you focus on the positive, because something that is off will make you say, that didn't go with that. But if you spend your time that and go with that, you'll find yourself in judgment and might not see the whole context of where that negative or outlier falls into place. So you go on the conversations positive, right? That this is a good person. He's not shady. She's not shady. She's not a thought. He's not a gigolo or whatever the words of are today. You're not going into the conversation thinking he's trying to just get over on me. No, you're going into the conversation say, this is a handsome man. This is a beautiful woman. This seems like somebody I would want to get to know. And you're open to that. Okay. And you ask questions like these. And again, you want these questions. Those of you that are just joining, Eunice Hunter and others, Happy New Year. You want to be able to, and I'm going to give you one more baseline. So I gave you the normal baseline, nervousness baseline, and recall baseline. Thank you, Lena Brown. Click share and tag someone to join us. Recall baseline is when you know how you ask somebody a question and they're trying to recall. Some people look down to recall. Some people look up to recall. You want to watch to see if their recall changes. So you're trying to get a baseline. When you say, oh, well, how many years ago was that? And somebody, starts to think like this, doesn't mean that they're being deceptive. Is it consistent with their baseline? If they always do this and then one time they do this, Dia, you want to make note of that person could be being deceptive. And whenever you feel that someone is being deceptive, you either ask more questions or set new boundaries. When people show you a red flag, believe them. And you either ask more questions to confirm that red flag or you set new boundaries. That way you don't invest in red flags and end up needing a white flag and the cavalry to come save you, right? We've all done it, right? We ignored some red flags. Someone was showing us. We're like, I'm just going to overlook that. Don't overlook a red flag. Ask more, delve more deeply into questions. And if you don't get an answer that makes sense to you, set boundaries. Don't let them closer in. Make sure that you set boundaries so that you don't put yourself in harm's way. So here are some of the questions you're going to ask to see how congruent their answers are to that baseline. When it's a yes and smile or yes and no smile. Try to find a baseline. Are they saying, I love working for the company, but there's no smile, there's no, you trying to find a baseline and see where their baseline is. Is it congruent with their body language? Is it in sync? Do they have a nervous baseline? And does the nervousness, can you tell enough that the nervousness is different than the maybe deception? And then their recall baseline, when you're asking them something in the past, oh, how many years ago were you married? And they're like, it's about 20. And so, okay, and how many kids do you have? One. You might want to make note of that. There might be 2 other kids they don't want to tell you about, right? You're just going to make note of it and ask more questions until you feel comfortable that you've satisfied this incongruency, okay? So in this first round of questions, here are some of the things you ask. Michael says, what's the stage of this conversation? How soon are you advising people in relationship for these questions? You're not in relationship. You're just meeting someone. So, Michael, you're going into Kroger, and not for you because you have the beautiful Kim, but you're going into Kroger's and you see somebody that's fine like Kim before you met Kim. And you're going in the grocery store and you see them and you're like, voila, voila, or whatever you would say. I know you got special words. And you say, hey, how you doing? My name is Mike. I'm Mikey. Mikey. And y'all get to talk. You exchange names after you've made some opening thing. You say, who was your favorite teacher in school? And why? You might not ask them in this order, but these are questions that are in the first section because what you want to do is establish a baseline to see whether or not who's showing up, right? Michael, what's the meaning of your name? Does it have any meaning, or were you named after anybody? Do you feel like the meaning of your name resonates with who you are? Is it in sync with your personality and how you see yourself? You're watching how he responds or how she responds. In this case, Mike, right? I use Mike. Do you have animals? Are you an animal person? What kinds of animals do you like, or pets? Do you prefer calling them animals, pets? Which do you like? Maybe they'll talk about, yeah, I like lions, but I don't want one as a pet. Why? Right? When you were young, what was your favorite toy? You might even open this if you're extrovert and say, you know what, I had a Slinky. I love that Slinky, and I got it downstairs in the basement still. What was your favorite toy when you were young? They might have to recall, and they might go, you know, I had a Tonka truck that I loved, and they might have a story, and you listen to see how they're telling that story. And if it comes across that they're telling you a real story, that might be their baseline for recall. Because most people, when they go back to a cherished moment, they can easily unlock the memory and give you the detail. Some people have harder times when they're making up the detail. Get the baseline. These are baseline questions to see, is this person willing to open up and tell you things that feel like they're true? Yeah, you would have said you're Mike Reeves. I know. Did you grow up with any specific culture or tradition? You know, you might even talk, you know, you're talking to somebody African American, you might say, what was on your Thanksgiving table? Or you might talk about, were you the youngest? Did you have to wash the dishes? Whatever things that might come out of that question. So you can, again, you're establishing baseline. Do you care about politics? Now, this is one that I would move farther down because sometimes that's tricky. Sometimes people don't. Politics can, you know, make strange discussions. I'll leave it there. If you could invite 5 people, dead or alive, to a dinner party, who would you invite and what food would you serve? And that's sufficient enough down because they're telling you now who they admire, right? Who they like to meet. And you might follow up and say, have you met any of these people? Got anybody's autograph? Why do you like them? Did you go through any phases in high school, like hip hop or punk or goth? If so, which ones? You know, I'm a big Lauryn Hill fan, though they say she's never on time to her concerts. I've not been to one of her concerts, but I love the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And so someone say, well, what's your favorite album? Well, I don't have a favorite album, but I love me some Lauryn Hill. Did you ever hear this song? What's your favorite album? What's your album might even date you, right? Somebody might like an album. This is MP3, right? If you could be in any movie as a remake, what would it be and why? Okay. All of these questions are baselines. And what's your all-time favorite book? So these are about 11 of the questions that I would suggest you use to establish baseline. You want to see congruency, nervousness, recall. Those are the basic things that you want to see. And as they're talking, you're actively listening, which means you're repeating back their answers to them, kind of flipping it around. Oh, you like that movie, so-and-so? I like that movie too. Who was your favorite star? Right? You're letting them know you're listening. And then another slight thing that you do in body language is tilt your head. Most of us might. I'll be like, okay, that's what's up, right? It tells somebody that you're interested in them and you're interested in what they're saying and that you want to hear more. You do that in these first 10 questions to see how well they are tracking with you and how well they're engaging with you, okay? I think it's important that you do that in those first 10 questions, all right? These next questions kind of focus on how you might understand each other and find out about each other's values. And you find this out through their senses. Now, if you're in the grocery store, you can, be creative. This will help you get through that grocery store experience, right? Because we all have a unique way that we perceive things and see the world. So now you want to get a snapshot of how they experience the world, and it helps you to better begin to establish some rapport with them and empathize with how they might see things different, okay? In this, you want to watch still those congruent things, but in addition to that, you want to watch people who haven't in their baseline touched their nose. There is science, it's not just Pinocchio, but there is science that says that when you're getting ready to be deceptive, there are chemicals that are released in the nose that cause them to itch. why you touch your nose when you're not telling the truth if it's not part of your baseline. Again, someone who's always touching their nose when talking, and people do even in COVID, that's a part of their baseline. So you got to be watching in those first 10 questions, and somebody's like, that's what's up. That's what, that, when they're talking all the time. But if no one's touched their nose and you get to asking them a question, you just start paying attention. These questions ask things like, what's your favorite sound? What's your favorite smell? What's your favorite feeling? Okay. How do you usually respond to stress? What's something about yourself that is still the same as it was when you were a child? Watch the body language. Watch the recall baseline. Do you have any tattoos? What do they mean? Do you want tattoos? Where are they on your body? See if that makes them shameful, embarrassed, blush. Note that differently than you would someone who is about to be deceptive. It's a part of their nervousness baseline. When people feel shame about a question, oh, did you, I went to Harvard and got my doctorate. Where'd you go? Well, I didn't quite. Somebody might have some shame around that, and they'll touch typically the sides of their head, or they'll cover their face or drop their head. That's a nervousness. That's a confidence quotient, right? And so you want to keep that separate from determining whether or not they're being authentic and real with you, okay? When was the last time you told someone you loved them? Watch the recall on this. See if it's the same yesterday, I think, or if it's, I think it was yesterday, and that's different from the other recall. Watch it. If you can invent an ice cream flavor, what would it be? If you could live anywhere in the world and not have to work for money, where would you live and what would you do and why? Do you believe in the paranormal? Do you believe in mystical creatures? Do you believe in fairies and wolves and elves and witches and warlocks? What do you think about God and religion? Now you're starting to delve into what somebody believes. And just listen to them. Don't be immediately turned off because someone's saying, I don't know about God, I ain't rocking with him. He took my mom out of here. I don't know about organized religion. I'm just spiritual. Be open. Be open to meeting people where they are. What would your younger self from childhood think about you today? Watch the congruency. I think my child would be proud of me. I think my child would be proud of me. When someone responds to a question in the tone of raising the end of the phrase, they're really not sure that that's the answer that they should be giving, and it's probably not the correct one. Are you closer to your biological family or chosen family? If they say chosen, who's in your chosen family and why? Do you believe in free will? What's your favorite place in the world, and what about it makes it special to you? And do you rehearse conversations before you have them with people, or need help from prompts and templates to talk to people? And you could even swing that around and say, do you feel comfortable talking to people? Or do you rehearse what you're saying before you get into situations like this? Okay. So now you're starting to get into some meatier questions. And again, this is not the 36 questions that lead to love, right? That is where you say the physical attraction is enough that I want to explore. This is to get you out in 2022, virtual or in public, saying, I'm going to be open to meeting new people for the purpose of connecting. because you never know. You could be connecting to someone that's going to connect you to the one, or you could be connecting to someone that is becoming, and you're on the road to helping them become. But you got to be open to connecting, to go from stranger to at least friendship. And that's what these 35 questions are about. So now you're kind of getting to some meatier questions where you can go a little bit more in depth. Again, you're watching the baselines. It's important. And these are questions that might make you feel a little more vulnerable. And so you can expect that somebody might shy away from some answers in some of these questions. Some of these questions are about, learning how to support someone and being comfortable with also having to identify and talk about what you want as well. All right. So it makes you all on equal footing. Okay. So that you look at each other's experiences, relationships, and desires without being one-sided or without judging. You have to be open. So another question that you might ask, and again, you're looking at baselines, but remember, I don't want you to mistake the lack of confidence necessarily in these questions as a lie, because someone could lack confidence in these questions or not ready to be vulnerable, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're being deceptive. Remember that when people are being deceptive, a lot of times there's some body language that's happening, but it needs to be different from their nervous recall and baseline. It's got to be incongruent. Okay. So we talked about spotting shame. One of the things in these questions that I'm going into that you want to look for, because you're already doing the head tilt and nodding as you're listening to them. If someone does what's called blocking, and that blocking hasn't happened through the conversation, it's something you want to note. Now, the most I thought that was some powerful information, and I am happy to share it again. And I've dropped the link in the comments a couple of times so that you will be able to have the link. So I hope that you are. And those of you that are watching across platforms, thank you on the Love and Stuff community page, folks on the Marcus R. Holmes page, folks on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you for joining us. But I know that our YouTube typically has people that are across the pond or overseas. So for some of you, it may be early morning or middle of the morning. And I'm just appreciative that you joined those of us that are in the US and proper that are watching the show. That was some replay content. We took a break today from the Black History or Black 365, no doubt. But we took a break today as a detour just for mental self-care because of the amount of loss that we've seen in and around the Love and Stuff community. Our prayers are out to the family of Ariel Anderson. Our prayers are out to the family of Joanne Atkinson. Our prayers are out to the family of Kanata Hope Williams, our own Darren Williams from Love in the Scriptures dear sister, made her transition. Tanya Taylor, who is the daughter of Joanne Atkinson, and Izora Baldwin, who is the sister of Joanne. Our prayers are out to all of you. And so we decided today to just take a mental break. We promise to bring you next week a double feature. It will be the Black music experience, which we intended to do today, along with the close of our celebration. We will have Valerie Colbert Olsen-Wady and the panel from For the Love of Justice to talk to you about the documents that have colored our history. You know, there's so much being said about critical race theory and the teaching of what happened during slavery and what happened during Jim Crow and what happened even before then in the transatlantic slave trade, and how that there are people who don't embrace that teaching, who want it to be silent, who want to erase it. And there is a paper trail, my friends. There are documents that date back to many of those periods. And so we want to hear from a historical standpoint some of those documents, some of them famous and infamous, some of them maybe not as well known, that will be shared with you. So you don't want to miss Love and Stuff next week, a special edition of Love and Stuff as we conclude our formal presentation of Black History Month. We hope that you will join us. I wanted to just remind you again, thank you that have joined us. Listen, I'm looking across everywhere, but Instagram tonight. I can't check it. I tried on the phone. I'm not even sure it's live there, but I'm thankful if it is. And thank you, those of you that would be there. I appreciate you on every platform because you could be watching a ton of other things. And the Love and Stuff community is committed to increasing the amount of love in the world. Doing that one Tuesday at a time, one love at a time, one advocacy at a time. As the love activist, I'm advocating for a better love for you and me, a better world filled with love. And that's what I believe we need now. And so I am appreciative of anyone who stops by, watches the entire show, or watches a piece of it. We are eternally grateful. So thank you so much. Whether you're watching us on the Love and Stuff community page, on Inside of Love and Stuff, Marcus R. Holmes, all here on Facebook, any of the love groups that are connected on Facebook, Twitch TV, Twitter, YouTube events, or tonight also LinkedIn. I apologize that we had intended to do the Black History, Black Music. We will pick that up next week. And we took a detour to talk about these 35 questions that take you from stranger to friendship. And the link is in the comments if you want. But I wanted to double back because we also have a few other things that we want to share. Of course, we want you to join Inside of Love and Stuff, but there is a self-care ebook. And I just had to mention it again as we come to a close. There is a self-care ebook that has 12 months of tools and tips to help you be more intentional about self-care. In the Love and Stuff community, we believe that your love and your gratefulness are speaking to your worthiness when you are actively engaged in self-care. You care for the kids, you care for your spouse, you care for your parents, You care for siblings. You foster care for others. You care for those at work. You care for the employees in your organization. Who's caring for you? You, my friend, should care for you. You shouldn't run on a fourth tank of spiritual, emotional, or mental power and fuel. You should be refueling, recharging every day as frequently as you can, living a life of self-care, not a life of self-escape, but a life of self-care that you nourish your love and gratefulness, which has an exponential impact on the nourishment of your worthiness. The self-care ebook is available. It's $9.99. It will be downloaded. You can download it. It will be yours as soon as you make that payment. And I wanted to, the Live It to Love ebook is there as well. I don't see that the picture isn't coming up of the food, but listen, if you're practicing or observing Lent, the Lent season, today was Fat Tuesday. If you're after Fat Tuesday, say, okay, that's it. This book takes you on a 31-day journey. Can start tomorrow. And you're going to build some discipline. You're going to see results. You're going to have the opportunity to change your mind about how you eat and whether or not you eat to live or live to eat. The former, eating to live, is where you find that your temple, the body that's given to you to reside in, is worth taking care of. It's worth providing the nourishment that feeds it. And this ebook is all about that. It is largely vegetarian, but you do get to have a couple of fish and chicken options during the 31 days. It removes alcohol, it removes sugar and a lot of other things, but it empowers you to build a habit to make choices about what you will add back in after the 31 days. So it won't be just something that you say, 31 days without this, woo, glad I did it. No, you're going to take some careful thought about why you're eating what you're eating and why you need to do it in moderation if it returns to your live it. Not your diet, but your live it. You want to live it in a way that you eat to live. You want to live it in a way that you eat to live, not that you live to eat. And believe you me, I'm a foodie. I love to eat. And I, even being what some might consider somewhat slim, though there's some pandemic pounds that are hiding, I have to be careful what I eat. And I know I need to be careful what I eat. And so this Live It to Love not only is a help to me, it's been a help to people in the Love and Stuff community. One person, I'm going to have her come back and tell her story. She took it to her doctor who thought, this is great for you. It helped her to work at her blood glucose level, which was way elevated. It helped her to work at her weight, which was elevated. It helped her to work at her stamina. Others that have used it, it's helped them to work at their immune system. It is available now at the scan of that QR code, and you can have it today. I wanted to also double back to a few of the items in the Love shop. If you love, you should love to have your love front and center. This is the sweatshirt for the Love is front and center. This is pictured in black. And of course, I love the black because the red just pops. My love is front and center just pops out there. But you can get it in just about any color and any size from the website by scanning that QR code. It's available for $21.15. That's a deal if ever I've seen one for a sweatshirt, and you can enjoy that. Then we have the hoodie. Now this hoodie is pictured in white, but it also comes in black. It comes in a royal blue, a fuchsia, a number of different colors, and it's available at the scan of the QR code. Listen, if you want to wear a brand that you can live, if you want to live a brand that you can wear and love the brand, My Love is front and center is one brand that you should wear. Become a love evangelist and let your love be on display so that others who are interested in your love and others who want to replicate that love can understand that you live the brand you wear. Of course, we have our heavy blend crew neck signature Love and Stuff sweatshirt. It is available, as you see in the baby blue there. I'm so thankful for that design that kind of characterizes different types of love. And that's our staple signature brand. It is available in all colors and sizes. There you have it in the powder blue. It's available at $26.99. We also have, I meant to mention, the Love Front and Center t-shirt. And that you see is kind of in an aqua blue, and that red pops out there as well. It comes in multiple sizes and multiple colors. I invite you to purchase any or all of those products. I also want you to know that we couldn't forget to think about Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. Their sports gear is here. And if you want to support two fellows who love sports, it's the Sports Love Show. We're so grateful for Kamau, who is one of our associate producers from Love and Stuff, and his co-host Felix. They are an excellent team. And if you love good sports talk, stupid news, you love laughs and serious talk about sports, these are two gentlemen who love sports, and you will love sports after talking to them. And ladies, even if you're not into sports, you might learn a thing or two that will help you educate yourself regarding different sports, so that when you're watching it with your husband, or if you're going to the games, you can speak up and participate, and your husband will see that differently, and there could be a whole new Rihanna show at halftime. All right, so you definitely want to get that. And this is the hoodie that is available. We will have t-shirts coming in the spring, but and the t-shirt dress, we will debut that in the spring. We thought it would be appropriate to do it then. Here is the hoodie that you can get. Again, it's in multiple colors, and you can get it just about in any color that you'd like to have it. I want to share with those of you that may be familiar with the Sports Talk, you can join the Sports Talk group. It's growing. Kamau and Felix would love to have you as a part of their group. Here's a way to join the Sports Talk group by scanning that QR code. It'll take you right to the Sports Talk group page. Click join. They will ask you a few questions. You will be in the Sports Talk group. We'll have soon a QR code for the Inside of Love and Stuff as well. I also wanted to make sure that you were able to access this code from last week. If you missed the show where for Valentine's Day, we had a couple of wonderful couples, one married over 20 years, one married almost 30 years, to talk about 5 questions that they could shed some light on. We'll be having them come back along with other couples in the Love and Stuff community for singles to ask questions of the couples. If you are interested in getting into a relationship and you want to find out some things to do, let's talk to couples who've had real and transparent experiences and ups and downs, joys, sorrows, triumphs, and trials to get some of those questions answered. But here is an affirmation. There are 10 affirmations in this document that you can say every day as a single, and it will help you to be not only comfortable in your singleness, not complacent, but comfortable in your singleness, confident, because you deserve to know that you are worthy of love. And so these affirmations are designed to help you strongly affirm and validate your value as a single. So you want to definitely get that. And if you want to support this stream, help us buy a cup of coffee for someone in need. 35% of the net proceeds go toward helping those in the community, in the Love and Stuff community and the community at large. You could be helping to buy books for a college student. You can be helping someone who's experienced a personal disaster in a fire or flood. You can be helping people who are just trying to get back on their feet after a health scare and medical bills are weighing them down. We want to be of assistance to people, and this is how we do it, through your support. You can support this stream by clicking on the QR code and donating there. I am so grateful to be the host of this and facilitator of this community. What an awesome community it is. And if you've enjoyed anything that you have experienced tonight, why don't you do us a favor? Click share. Tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, YouTube subscribers, LinkedIn connections, or Twitch followers, 5 of the more popular ones, and let them know that there was some information we shared that could be of benefit to them. I am Marcus Holmes. I am the Love Activist, and I am grateful that you are here with us. I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to share the information that I've synthesized from many different sources and couples to share with you about your journey to love, and that you have the opportunity to work on the quintessential love with God, to work on the love of yourself, and then the love of others. I want to share with you before we go down the gratefulness journey this information from MJ from Shahs of Sunset.
Marcus, I want to congratulate you on Love and Stuff. I really want you to know that staying grateful and understanding the power of what it is to be operating out of a space of abundance and gratitude is the most important part of every journey of every day. So Marcus June, congratulations on this book. It's on Amazon now. That makes me so proud of you and your family and me and my family, and every single person around us gets it. So good on you for bringing it into the hands and the laps and the Kindles of all the people. Okay, so we're gonna check it out. Can't wait to learn more.
We're going to check it out. Gratefulness Journey every day. What are you doing in the next 30 days to transform your life? Is available on Amazon now. I would be happy for you to support us on the Gratefulness Journey every day. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist. Are you ready to up your love game? Come and join us in doing so. One person, one world at a time.